All right, I got the horrible out. The whole board out. Am I the only one who like underestimates how long it actually takes to do something? Hey, what's up, Armors family? Today we're going to be adding some ventilation to the shop, specifically for our t-shirt press that we use for Kydex, and then our laser engraver. If you heat, or when you heat Kydex to a certain temperature, it starts to off-gas toxic fumes. Same goes for the laser engraver as it's cutting, and so we want those out of here. So we're gonna install a fan and probably vent it out over here, over the kiln. I've got enough things laying around that I think we can piece it together and make it work great. If you stick around to the end of this video, we're gonna be adding a piece of nostalgia to the shop. I haven't figured out where to put it, but I think I found the perfect spot. So stick around to the end and let's get into this. All right, so here are the components that I have. Some I had laying around, some I ordered off of Amazon, but the most important part is this inline ventilation fan that I actually got from my parents when they moved. It's about 400 CFM, and so it blows really strong. It's got 8-inch inlet and exits, but I picked up some reducers, 8 to 6, to make this a little bit more manageable. And so all I needed after that was some flexible ductwork, and then obviously the exterior vent that's gonna go on the outside. I also built a shelf that it's gonna sit on. It's just the easiest way to kind of mount all of this in the shop. So with a couple more little tools, we'll be able to get this project rolling. So let's go. Okay, so this is the shelf that I built that's gonna carry or hold the ventilation fan. It's just gonna sit on top. It's the easiest way, again, to mount that thing. Can't really mount it to the ceiling very well, and plus trying to line all my inlets and exhausts and holes would be very difficult. So I can kind of shimmy it around on top of this little shelf. I've got a cleat in the back where we can screw it into the wall, and this is where our little nostalgic item is gonna sit when we're all done. So I ended up taking a piece of cardboard and making a little pattern of the back of the cabinet so that I could lay it out on the wall and figure out exactly where it was gonna sit. And so I came up with 13 inches down from the ceiling and 10 inches off the top of the kiln. Don't worry, there's like 0 radiant heat that comes off this thing when even, you know, at temperatures of 2,500 degrees, like there's almost 0 radiant heat. So no worries for clearance there, but I was able to find my stud. These ones are actually 2 feet on center, and so I'm only gonna catch one, but that's fine because the fan's not very heavy. But what this allowed me to do is figure out the height specifically for the center of the exhaust outlet and where that's gonna fall on the exterior wall, so everything kind of lines up super nice and I don't have to really fudge making this thing work. So all right, let's get our cleat on the wall, pull off the tape backing here. This is just to help hold the cleat in the wall. I screw it in, so I've got a level line there and there. Okay, success so far. First screw. Second screw. Ooh, left-handed. How do we do this here? Not bad. All right, beautiful. Now let's get our cabinet up here. And I've already pre-drilled the 3 holes in the back. And so let's get this thing screwed up. Wall, line it up with our outside mark, and let's see, first screw, we go. Nice, that's perfect. Let's throw the fan up there and see what it looks like. There's the fan. This way, its airflow is in the opposite direction. All right. Nice. Okay, I can already tell I made a mistake because when I measured this, I didn't account for the electrical inlet box on this side, and so my center is just a little off, but that's super easy to fix, referring to the mark I have on the opposite wall. So that looks good. That looks great. Let's just make an adjustment. All right. Okay, so I made my adjustment, and basically we just went from 7 3/4 inches off the corner to 9. And so as you can see, here's the center. This will be the center of the exhaust outlet. I've got a reducer from 8 to 6. So we need to first drill a little pilot hole. I've got a long 1/8" bit that helps a lot when you're trying to do something like this. So we're gonna drill a hole, poke it through the exterior, and then go see what it looks like outside. All right, let's drill this hole. What do you say? I don't know why this is so much fun, but anytime you're kind of destroying something, it feels good. It feels good. We're definitely through. All right, let's leave that and go check out the outside. All right, here's the exhaust that we'll be installing. There's our little pilot drill bit, and it's gonna work perfectly. Like, it's probably gonna sit right underneath this top piece of siding, and it's gonna work out really well. So let's go inside, cut the hole, and then we'll come back out and do this one. Well, that worked pretty well. The bay is free and clear, just some insulation. And the hose did a pretty good job. Not too much to clean up. So let's get this cleared out, and then we'll get our hole drilled on the outside and install that exhaust fan. Let's get this other hole drilled. Where is it? Right there. All right, look at that. We're through. All right, it's a little snug because this is 6 inches exactly, and so I guess is my hole saw. But we can work around that. Either way, it's gonna fit perfectly, so let's just get this thing fit up and screw it in. All right, I'm still having trouble getting this in here, so I'm gonna take this file. It's got a little round or radius to it. I'm just gonna try to open up this a little bit more around the edges. All right, I got the hole bored out. The hole bored out. You know, I could fill this with caulk and just call it is what it is, but I'm probably going to trim this out and get this flush against the siding. Am I the only one who like underestimates how long it actually takes to do something? It'll only take an hour. 4 hours later. All right. Of course, no vapor barrier beneath the siding. Classic. All right, got some better stuff. The other stuff I had was too old and was not flexible, and I'm not confident that it was gonna work at all. So, found some clear silicone. Let's try this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Much better. Okey-doke. Oh yeah. Very nice. Okay. Okay, looks pretty good. All right, we got the vent pipe fully installed. I needed to open up the circumference of the circles we cut a little bit, and the best way I was able to do that was I have these sanding drums that attach to a drill, some 36 grit sandpaper on there, and I was able to open up the hole on the outside and the inside. Got it fully installed, screwed in. Backflow preventer flapper works great. Now we just have to get the fan up here and then connect the two pieces together with some of this 6-inch flexible hose. So let's do that. Okay. I already got a short section of the flex pipe installed onto the exhaust vent. So now I just gotta get this one hooked up to here, and then I can hook up this side and fire this thing up and see how it works. All right. Should I do a clamp? Yeah, let's do a clamp. All right, that side's done. Let's tighten that down. Yep. That's good, that's on there, that's solid, okay. Now let's figure out how long our hose needs to be. All right, well, it's basically done. I just need to figure out what I'm gonna do down here. I was gonna trim the hose, but I'm gonna hold off on that for now. I'll probably move some of my decor over on the wall a little bit, but this works really well. So when the t-shirt press is running, you open it up once the timer's up, and the Kydex again gets so hot that it releases these toxic vapors and gases, and you can kind of see it looks like steam. And so I want to position the end of the hose in such a way that it just sucks it up. It's really powerful. I'll plug it in. I'm just using an extension cord right now. I'll route it underneath the bench later. But it's very quiet, which is awesome, and the suction is actually phenomenal. I mean, look at this. If I put this on here, it basically wants to suck it right up through the hose. So maybe I'll get like some sort of HVAC floor register piece that I can plumb this into here that's like a rectangle, right, facing this way. It's about the same length as the t-shirt press, so then it'll help like horizontally suck the vapors across. I don't know, we'll see. And then in the future, we'll run, maybe I'll put, I guess the next part of this project would be putting some sort of T here so I can run it all the way down and over to where we typically have our laser engraver. But we'll see. This is probably the biggest plus right now, just getting these vapors out of here. So guys, that's it. Last but not least, let's add that piece of decor that I was referring to in the beginning of the video. If you've been following me for a while, you've seen my shop. You can see that I've got my old helmets from my previous career as a fireman. I've got my firefighter helmet and then my officer's helmet over there when I was a lieutenant. But if you didn't know, my father was actually a firefighter as well for 42, 43 years, a really long time. And he recently retired as an assistant chief. So really excited and proud of him and all he's accomplished. And anyway, when he retired, he gave me a gift to hang in my shop, and here it is. He gave me his helmet, guys, which is pretty awesome in my opinion. They moved, they downsized from their home, and he decided to give this for me and asked if I would hang it in the shop. So I thought that no better place to put it would be with my stuff, and it just happens to fit on this shelf perfectly. I could have just made a straight shelf, but I decided to add a little cubby right there and add his helmet. So I think it looks great. Now you've got his and you've got mine. I'll have to move that over a little bit, but that's it, y'all. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Here's one final look at our little project right here. Still a bit of tweaking to come, but overall we got through it. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, do all those things. It helps not only the channel, but our business out. I love you guys. We love you guys, and we'll catch you next time.